Welcome into our lives.
And welcome to the Expanders Club podcast.
We're so happy to have you.
Join us as we embark on a journey of deep exploration, soul searching, and asking the hard questions.
With the goal of truly understanding the most aligned, empowered, and purposeful versions of ourselves.
We want to live an extraordinary life, and we're willing to dig deep to find out what it takes.
Buckle up. You're about to meet a new version of yourself, an extraordinary one. Hello, friends. So grateful to have you here for another exciting episode of Ask a Psychic, where myself, Oracle and transformation coach, and my lovely friend Christina, psychic, spiritual teacher, psychic medium, all the things, we do live recordings of a psychic session. We have a really cool guest today. We're going to get to that. But first, we have some things we want to talk to you about. Hi, Christina. How are you?
Yeah, I'm excited about this topic of what came up for her. And yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, we wanted to talk about manifesting, the M word. The M word. I feel like it is just like the most popular word in spirituality. I feel like everyone's selling a 7 days to manifesting, 30 days to manifesting your dream life. Like everyone's selling those packages. And I think it's confusing. And I'm just like, I want to get your expert opinion. We have not chatted about this topic together yet. So neither of us know, our perspectives or thoughts on it, but talk to me about manifesting, how you see it, like how you feel about it. We're all manifesting parking spaces and short lines, but like, let's dig in.
Yeah, I think it's simply put the energetic connection between what you deeply desire and the thing coming true. And yeah.
Okay. I like that. Okay. And tell me about your take on the conversation of manifesting in the spiritual world. And we'll talk about in the context of social media, right? Because that's where
I will. Okay. So here's what I think everyone gets effing wrong. Okay. They think, oh, I'm going to manifest and I'm going to have it like this. And if I draw it completely and if I make the list and I sit in the energy and I want and I want and I want, then I'm going to get it. And if I don't, then I'm going to suffer. And I did something wrong and I didn't manifest right. And I have to buy another course and hire another psychic or whatever it is. No, the thing about it is that manifesting can start as a deep desire and a connection to something that comes true, but people forget to surrender it. You got to let the whole thing go. You can have your list and say what you want, but then the universe is so much more creative than you could ever be. And so you got to get out of the way. And you can be frustrated about it not working out exactly the way you thought, but go to the higher source. Say, well, the universe is playing something else out that isn't my highest good. So even though I didn't get my exact list at the exact time that I wanted, how can you trust something bigger than ourselves? Bigger than the ego that thinks we can control the energy. It's like set it and forget it and then be open to what unfolds.
Yeah, what I've never loved about manifesting is it feels like it's trying to be the shortcut, right? Like, and there is no shortcut. Two things, the shortcut, and it also feels like almost like we're begging God or this higher power, whatever you connect with, like we're begging them to like fulfill our wishes. Like that doesn't feel good at all.
It's so egoic is what I'm hearing. Yeah.
Yes, and it's this shortcut to we want what we want, right? We want the end results, of course. Yeah. But like if the foundation's not right, one, how can you even know what you actually want, right? Like you might think you want a yacht, but actually what you want is self-love.
100%.
And I think for those of us who have felt wholeness, who have done the work, who have our foundation, who do know unconditional love, like even the idea of manifesting kind of goes out the window because you're like, one, I'm constantly co-creating, right? And it's like, to me, the energy that we want to be in feels more like magnetizing than manifesting, than like waiting for these outward things to appear.
Yeah, you named it. It's energetics. And I think science is coming around to this. There's a really good example that just happened today with a client, and I have to protect her privacy because she's very much in the public eye. But she had this deep desire to have a very big, let's say, outcome, okay, that like is very, very possible and very huge. And she was like, should I feel bad about that? Like, is it okay to want this? And I feel like it's not coming from my ego. I feel like it's coming from a good place of like creation and connection and all the things. And the energy in which she spoke the desire was so different than being like, I need this. And if I don't have this, then I'm not loved and I'm not worthy. And it means all of my art and creation doesn't mean anything. And I know she's going to get that outcome, right? And it's because she's in that embodied place of like, yeah,
Because then the outcome is more of a vision, right? She
correct.
probably already had the vision, and that's
Yes.
why she already saw
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah. No, that's
And
true. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
that's why she
She's
feels,
manifesting just a psychic prediction.
I like, I mean, yes, depending
Yeah.
on the state that
Yeah.
you're in, right? And I think that there's a bit to the actual flow of life where it's like I trust whatever the outcome is. Kind of
Yeah.
like you were saying. Like I think, a lot of coaches will say when you manifest like this or something better to give the universe space, but I think it's more of like being in the energy of like what I trust whatever the outcome is, and that's not easy, and in
No.
certainly many situations it's not, but it's like at the end of the day, if your vibration, your energy is in the right place, if you've done the work on yourself, you're in the right place, good things are going to happen, right? These
Yes.
attracts like, and that doesn't mean, like you said, it doesn't mean it's going to be like you're like, I want 1,000 people at my movie premiere. Like, it doesn't mean it's going to be exactly 1,000, but it might mean the right 100 people come, and then your movie gets into some festival because the right people were there, or like, it could be something beyond, far beyond what you think. And it's like just being in the right energy and trusting the process is actually the work, and it's more co-creating than it is like begging for an outcome.
Yeah. And we have to be careful with using right and wrong. And I know what you mean, but I'm going to explain this for our audience. The pressure to be in the right energy in order to get the thing needs to be alleviated, and we need to be really clear about what we mean about that. So I'm going to give it some language. Being in the right energy doesn't mean that you feel positive and rainbows and butterflies and you just sit in the ethers of like, I'm just totally happy, and then you're dissociated from the reality of actually maybe you're suffering from not having the new job yet and you're trying to quote unquote manifest it, but you're not in the right energy because you're actually being pretty abused by your boss, right? Well, how do you get out of that? The energy to be in is to fully accept, okay, I'm actually feeling really icky. That's okay. I can be in the vibration of I feel really clear that this doesn't work for me. And I
Yes.
feel really clear what would work for me is this other thing, but it's not skipping out of the discomfort and the suffering that usually precedes the desire to manifest and up level.
Yes.
And so yeah, I just want to clarify that for our audience because I think it's a nuance that we know, but not a lot of people get that message from influencer spirituality.
Yes, you're so right. And that energy isn't that
I'm
I'm
right.
it's like not in it's not in a moment, right? It's like the embodiment of
Hmm.
alignment.
Yes.
And I don't think, like, certainly the universe can toss us small wins, but I think until we've done the foundational work to be
Mm,
in the embodiment of alignment, like, then how do we even know what we want to manifest, right? Like, how
yeah.
do we know what, people are trying to manifest true love? Well, if you don't love yourself, how do you know what it looks like for someone else to truly love you,
Ooh, you're calling me out.
right?
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. It's true. Okay, so then here's a good question. So, do you think it could work like on the inverse? Like, could someone who doesn't have good intentions manifest a really terrible outcome?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think energetically like attracts like, right? And
Hmm.
whether outwardly it shows immediately, right? We see a lot of bad people that we would, again, bad, right or wrong, like it's not necessarily the right language, but we see a lot of people that we would maybe say are immoral get the things that they want, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Stuff's gonna catch up to them. Like
Mhm.
it's not it's not what it looks like. on the
Yeah.
outside. And I know the energetics of it are not what I would call positive. And so I very much believe like attracts like.
Yeah.
And even if you're getting what look like outside winds, like something's going to catch up to you, you
So
know?
it's like a conduit, you believe. Like there's an energy match that's maybe a low vibration, pouring through a low vibration, getting a low vibration outcome. Yeah. When was the first time that you like learned about this concept? I remember reading what is it? No, The Secret. Remember that book that came
Yeah, I
out?
know. Yeah.
It's about the law of attraction,
I know I'm
right?
the only person in this room.
Okay, but I mean, you know it, right? Like you get it. But I was really young. I think I was like, 22 or something, and I read this and it blew my mind. And I was like, I'm gonna practice. They talked about getting checks in the mail like suddenly, and just having all these miracles happen. And I was like, I'm gonna play, with energy and see if it. And it worked. Like I was getting all these things where I was just like, oh my God, I can just get in the vibration and have it work. And I think we've evolved a really long way to kind of what we're talking about. Is that's a fun trick where I like to say to the universe, okay, prove it. Like let's see. And then I build a trust muscle, and then you start to become more whole, and it becomes um, more in integrity. You see the bigger picture. You start to take care of the collective. It's not just about me, 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 but what's the highest good, not just for me, but for everybody in this situation. If I want to move into this house, is it best for the landlord, to have it at this
Right.
price? Like, you know what I mean? Like you have to really think outside yourself. But The Secret was like the first time I was like, I get this. I have a magic wand. I knew I had a magic wand.
Well, I think there's beauty in putting forth the effort, right?
Yeah.
Putting forth the tools that they talk about in manifesting, because I think there's actually a lot more that's happening behind the scenes, whether it's conscious or not conscious, when we start to do those. So you want something, then you start to think about, well, why do I want it? What's the energy of someone who has that? Like it starts to shift your foundational pieces. Like if you have even a small level of awareness, I think it's the magic is what's happening behind the scenes that you not fully, it's like, okay, take these actions, but hey, there's actually some like magic happening behind the scenes that's internally shifting you, the way you think, the stories that you tell yourself. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I want $1 million, but what are all the limiting beliefs that are stopping you from? It's not about just saying I want $1 million a bunch of times, then believing that you're someone who has $1 million in your account. It's like it's stripping away those limiting beliefs that are not allowing that money to come.
Yeah,
So I think
everywhere
there's
I
a lot
go,
of,
there I am.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. There's a lot of things happening behind the scenes that don't get acknowledged in these like 30-day guide to manifestation pieces
Hmm.
that it's work. You've got to do the work and like face the things.
It's courage, it's vulnerability, it's authenticity, it's really meeting yourself where you're at and being okay with where you are in order to grow and be okay with like admitting, hard truths. And we can do that in support. And I think too, like, in the manifestation culture, um, again, there's a nuance of like, okay, it's not about me, 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 but it's also not about outsourcing to your spirit guides and God and the universe, right? To just be like, I don't know, you take care of it, right? It's like there's a balance between the two of just saying, I have this desire, but this desire comes from the highest good and truest alignment of like my soul and what I'm meant to be doing in the world. And I would like the energetics of the universe to kind of come in and give me a helping hand and show the way and letting it go. I like to ask myself, okay, I sit in the vibration. I really want this house. I want it to be this much. I want to have a view. I want blah blah blah. And I don't know what the next right action is. It's not coming tomorrow, but I trust that the universe will show me what the next right action is or what opportunities come. And okay, the other thing actually, what comes up a lot too is like I had a client that was like is working on shifting her career and she towards something like very vulnerable and different to help other women heal some trauma that she herself had experienced. I can probably say domestic violence. And she got this amazing opportunity right away, right? Like to be in this big like launch event around people who are real change makers. And it happened really quickly. And she was just sort of like, this is really overwhelming. I don't know that I can be in the room with a bunch of domestic violence, triggers here. But like I asked for it. So don't I have to take it? Like if I don't take it now, won't it be gone? And what we worked through is that, and what I believe is the train will come into the station over and over and over again until your nervous system and you are ready to get on. That what is meant for you will always come. And you manifested it, but it doesn't mean that you need to take it right now if you're really not ready,
I
right?
love
And yeah, so I think
I
that's a
love it. Yeah, in Kabbalah they talk about building the vessel, right? You have to build the vessel to
mm,
where it can receive the amount of light that you're asking for and that you want to come in.
mm.
That's the foundational work. And I've found too, in my experience, the more you are settled and whole and have unconditional love for yourself and feel like you're in flow and peace, like the less shit you're trying to manifest, you know?
Yeah, it's so
Like
true.
there's like it's this different, like no yacht or airplane or car could ever fulfill that, right? The feeling of
Yeah.
wholeness and peace and joy and pure bliss and happiness.
I
And that's what,
wouldn't mind a yacht, though, you
right.
know?
That's all I really want. Like, but I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade
Yeah,
it. I would
no, of
take
course. Yeah.
feeling of wholeness over a yacht. But then,
Of
now
course.
that I'm whole, like, sure, I'll be whole on a yacht for
I
sure.
think we're going to be on a yacht someday, Brooke. Don't
Um,
worry. And if
but like
anyone's
right
listening who
where
has a yacht, we'll join you.
exactly DM us. We'll
Yeah,
come on
but
the yacht.
we'll
We'll
come, we'll do some readings. It'll be great.
many things as you
We're
want.
manifesting it right now. Also,
Yes.
if you have a single friend who's, quality person, let me know.
Yes, we're
While we're
manifesting
on it.
true love for Christina. But I think that's what I'm talking about. When you're in this different energy of alignment of your truest self, like then it all just becomes fun. Like you're like, I
Yeah.
don't need this, but like, hey, that could be fun. Or let me throw this out to the universe and see what happens. And like
Yeah.
it all kind of becomes more of a game and less of an attachment of like, cool, I'm vibing. I'm vibing. I'm ready to magnetize. Like, show me what you got.
No, I love that. And I also like there's, like I feel like I need to put a asterisk, warning, getting your dreams doesn't always feel amazing after you get them. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of self-sabotaging that can come in. Oh, I don't deserve this thing now that I wished for it and I did all the, it was able to come. Or the consequences like I'm experiencing right now. I went through a big intention setting, process and releasing, and then just kind of letting it go. And things have been popping, like big things, changing in my life and happening. And I feel like I have to take it right now. Like same thing, I have to grab it and do and react and go and go. And then all of a sudden I was like, whoa, like I'm kind of burning out on all. It's like eating too much sugar, right?
Yeah.
In moderation. So it's like I got all the things, but I think I'm showing up to them because I'm like I have to take advantage. So it's like we have to return over and over to our intentions and our practice and say, well, I don't want to have, all these speaking engagements and workshops at the cost of not leaving my house to be in my community and have a social life, right? It's like how can you continue to return to be like I got it all? Oh shoot. Okay, but I want it in a softer way, right? Or I want to be responsible for what I do with this treasure. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I think that that's where, when you have the tools, again, don't skip to manifesting, right? Like you need to
Yeah.
have these foundational tools because no matter how grounded and whole and in flow you are, this stuff is gonna come up. But someone like you have the tools to like then look at it and be like, okay, wait a minute, what do we have going on here?
Yeah.
Right? Like, does this actually feel really good right now? And I'm gonna let that go because I also have certainty that it will come back at another time.
Yeah.
It's all this like it's just like this like chessboard that we're playing with, and we the board have to be this solid foundation so that we can operate and react and see things with clarity, and alignment and feel good.
It's true. And that's just a remembering. We don't have to fight to be that way. We
No.
actually were born innately that way.
Yes.
Culture kind of kicked us out of that foundation, that board, that groundedness, that truth. As little kids, we dreamed big, and it wasn't until someone told us we can't be an artist because it doesn't make us any money, or, being a psychic is super weird and, talking to dead people isn't real, like that we were like kicked out of, our dreams. So I think that's a good segue to talk about Jess for a couple of minutes because this is a really good episode about her navigating a lot of things that she has had in her dream life, of the opportunities that she's getting, and having the courage and bravery to say, okay, I've got these things. I have this new way of being. People are followers showing up, and I'm doing really great in the world of education and creating new systems for schools and what that looks like, um, and the courage to say, but I still feel like there's more. I
But it's
still feel like there's something different. Yeah, it's sort of like she's taking what happens in the confines of the structure, for example, the education structure that is already set in place in the United States, and she's saying, well, how can I move out of that? Like what is actually possible, like big picture, right? And we talk about what tools for everybody, it's unique to get you to the manifestation place. For her, we talk about getting her hands in things, like being tactile, playing with, you know, like arts and crafts. We saw her, right? Of like, it looks different, I think, for everyone to say, now that you have enough of a foundation of a dream life, if you still desire more, how do you get there? What
yeah.
tools do you use? Yeah.
Yes, and I think that one of the important things that came up for her too was like you don't have to have it all figured out. Like take the
Yeah.
first steps. And a lot of though for a lot of us that are feeling called on this mission or this journey, like it is the moment where our soul's like, we're done operating out of alignment, right? Like let's operate toward alignment. But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean you have it all figured out right away.
Yeah.
It's like the mission and the journey is what helps you in the healing process. Like so while her mission is very outward and it's for others, it's like, hey, this mission is as much for you as it is for the people that you're helping. And it's going to be so healing and so beautiful for her.
It's so true. It's like if you have the thought to do something that feels groundbreaking or weird or different than the mold, push yourself. Try to go for it because you're having that thought for a reason, and chances are other people are too. So why not be the change maker? And for Jess, we talk about the messy middle, what that looks like right now. She's come to us for help and she got that. And I'm excited for people to listen and get some juiciness from Jess's episode.
Yes, same. And for people to think about the systems, I think a lot of us are feeling like, hey, certain systems aren't working for us. Like,
Yeah.
how can we operate differently? How can we change that? And Jess is an incredible example. She's an incredible human. Really grateful for her vulnerability and her time, and can't wait to see what she does.
I know. Enjoy.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you on the other side. Thanks, Christina.
Your eyes open, flutter them open. Maybe just give a little stretch. Ooh, wow, you are bright. That's amazing. Wow, your energy is glowing. So, Jess, welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We are so honored to be with you, and I'm curious what has brought you here. Give us a little context around your
Sure.
question, and then share with us what you'd like to understand from this reading.
Yeah. I think that the last couple of years of my life have been very tumultuous in not a negative way, but in a way where I'm not the same person that I was before. And that identity shift happened for me very abruptly. I was not really expecting all of the shifts that life has taken. And through the process of releasing my old identity and kind of traveling to who I really feel that I've come here to be, I have started doing a lot of energetic alignment work and really releasing all of, those old thought patterns and those belief systems that are no longer serving me. And I'm still shifting. I feel that life is changing very rapidly, and I'm really seeking. I can be impatient, so I'm a generator, and I have so much going on and so many things that I would love to grasp. And I think I have the awareness that this will be a very important time moving forward for me to be more grounded, and just maybe a little softer than I have been in my previous life. I think I had a lot of masculine energy in the roles that I played, and I love that energy. It's what makes me who I am, but I'm feeling the intuitive nudge to just stay soft and to allow the experience that I have. I don't think I'm in a stage where I need more information. I think I need clarity with what I have already experienced, if that makes sense.
It does. Thank you. I hear so much self-awareness and groundedness. Honestly. Let me talk a little bit about what I'm seeing when I mention like that brightness. There, it's actually, have you heard of the obsidian stone? It's a black stone, but it actually feels very alive and actually bright. And so I was like, why is this black stone coming in? And obsidian really is meant to absorb all of the things. It can be used for like Wi-Fi protection. It can be used for when you go out and your empathy is really open and you really want this stone to absorb and not you. And I'm actually not that much of a crystal girly, but it says to me that you are like there is an earth part of you that needs um, to be utilized in order to call on grounding. That your grounding is almost like a mask that you put on, but it hasn't completely been embodied into you. You're like, I feel masculine, I feel grounded, but it's actually coming from a place of like quicksand, almost like not really rooted in this way. And we want to bring in ground. Does that resonate? I see you're
It
nodding your
does.
head.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we want to take off the mask and be like, I don't have to play grounded. I don't have to be grounded. What happens when I fall apart? What is the grounding energy that's catching me?
Mhm.
The other thing I want to say, and I just want to make sure I address, is like, have you been through quite a lot of health stuff, especially like when you were younger? Yeah, it really,
Yeah.
when you, it started when you were younger and it went through, it's like you're still afraid of that. There's something that feels like you're like running from in a sense. And um, we want to restore your faith in your body's ability to heal and that your past health issues have completed and holding that truth.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Just, can you tell me why? Why does my heart hurt so
Mhm.
badly, and why do I feel so lonely?
Yeah, I think there's been so much of this adventure that I have been on that has, and I've had such loving community, but I have felt a little alone still through it. And it's not as a result of what someone has or has not done. Um, but I think that there's just like a little piece of me that came to the world feeling a little lonely.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Christina, can you help us move some of that?
Yeah, the first thing, Jess, I feel that. And part of your loneliness is feeling really special, actually, that you feel like you understand things, you feel things deeper, and where do you have, like, what's your safe place? And the first step is to really just be safe with the loneliness and the capacity in which your loneliness has needs and wants to be held and nurtured instead of abandoning it and saying, I don't want to feel lonely. I want to go towards my all the friends and all the things and I'm just going to fill with stuff. So I'm just going to be with that loneliness. And it is, yeah, in your heart, but your stomach as well, pretty painfully. Yeah.
And
So I'm going to move that
just,
from there.
I would love to know what Scorpio role Scorpio plays in your chart, because I feel this like scorpionic energy around you in a really beautiful way. Christina's a Scorpio, my husband's a Scorpio. They're some of my favorite, but there's this like darkness that is depth. It's not necessarily darkness where we talk about darkness versus light. There's this like depth to you, and it's almost like you're meant to crawl through and understand these depths and like bring this beautiful moody darkness to light. When I opened your Akashic records before we got together, and it was like the language like divine feminine kept coming up. Like, you are very much meant to be in your feminine energy. You are the divine feminine. You are meant to be a representation of it. You're meant to help empower and show others how to step into their divine feminine. It's almost like you're meant to like help bring and rebalance this energy in the world.
Yeah. Well, and I think I've felt that very deeply, specifically in my career. I have been a school leader for a very long time, and that is traditionally a role where I was secondary, so that's a much more masculine energy a lot of times than the feminine. And I was actually doing some self work on this and kind of tapping through some self worth things earlier where I can remember being told that I couldn't have strong relationships and do a good job. Like I had to put that softness aside so that I was not perceived as being weak. And I refused to lead in that way. Like I refused to allow that to, that advice to internalize. And I think that's always kind of been this struggle of, societal's expectation of what a role should look like, what a female leader should be, and what you have to allegedly temper to be successful in those roles. So that resonates very deeply. And there's a lot of self-worth there. Like I can hear people telling me like, "Oh, I know you cried in that staff meeting." And, I would be like, yeah, I did. And it was necessary. Like that was what was needed in that moment. It was not weakness. That was me in my humanity showing the people that I was co-leading alongside that it was okay to come together in our humanity to make our school a better place.
That's the energy. I can feel the weight of your heart and your chest like shifting just as you are in that energy. That is exactly the energy that is truest to you and that you're meant to be in.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's like this, again, if we're looking at, there's this thin armor behind that truth and how you need to prove it to people versus be it. And you've gotten a
Yeah.
lot of that in your life. Your ancestry from your mother's side is like running in, and there was a lot of dysregulation, it feels like, in the women in your family on your mother's side. Does that feel true that you know about?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I only know my mom's mom. She didn't know her dad, but she
Hmm.
passed away at a very early age from a brain aneurysm. So,
Okay.
And I want to clarify because I don't think you actually asked a question yet. So, of course, with your words and your language and your energy, we've tapped into so much, but we are here to serve you, right? And to bring you
yeah.
clarity on, we can tell you a million things, right? When
Yeah.
Chrissy and I are both seeing all kinds of stuff, but we want to bring you clarity on exactly what you want clarity on. So, could you ask
Yes.
a question?
Yeah. So I think because my path has shifted and because I do have so many interests and like ways that I believe I can serve, I think I am wanting to know how, what did I come here to provide that is unique to me? Like, when I walk this path, and it's not really purpose necessarily. I think that's a very broad, kind of generic word, but it's more how am I utilizing the gifts that are unique to me to be of the highest service that I can? And thus far in my life, it has been through education. That is my passion. I am in the middle of some passion projects as it relates to education, but I'm seeking just some clarity because it really has been quite tumultuous the last couple of years. There's a lot of wounding behind traditional systems and a lack of humanity in the way that I think we're treating our students and our families, and just a lack of agency. And I guess I just want to know, um, not even where I'm going, but how am I best serving humanity right now with the gifts that I have, if that makes sense.
Yes, that's
Hmm. Thank you. Why am I seeing you crafting with your hands?
Um, I don't know. I don't know. I played piano for a very long time, so that was
Oh.
something. I'm not really a crafter, but I do know that one of my like touch is my strongest sense. And I'm a very like I like to place my hand on someone. Like I know if someone needs to be comforted or when they need to be hugged. So I don't know if it's so much crafting as it is like energetically maybe utilizing my hands in some way.
That's it. They're showing me getting your hands like in it. They're like, have her use her hands. Stop, pull out from like the mind. It's like, it's touch, it's textures. It's like almost going to like the kids museum where you go and you just like touch all these
Mhm.
different things. You say you're not a crafter, and I believe that's traditionally not what you've been gravitating towards, but they are showing me like this is an inroad to like you using your hands and being creative and finding ways to connect with adults, with children, with your purpose, with all of these things. It's like they're like put a bunch of stuff like on a table and just start like being a maker, like being a maker of tinkering and with your hands. But you're correct, like your hands are so important, and they're showing me like it's not necessarily about putting your hands on someone to help them heal or know them. It's like your hands for you and play and creation
Okay.
and expression.
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot, and Christina, tell me if this resonates with you. I'm getting a lot of like bringing, like my poor human brain. It's so simple. These are the only words I have to use, but this is not exactly what I'm being shown. Like bringing darkness into the light, and not darkness in a negative way, like
Hmm.
almost helping those who kind of are similar beings to you have this moodiness in a beautiful way, have these emotional depths, like showing, helping to showcase like the beauty and the good in that, and helping to support people who, might not be, they helping to showcase that there's like love and light in that, in the moodiness, in the depths, in the like the waves of the human experience. Like I see you as supporting like this whole group of people that you can very much relate to, that are deeply emotional, deeply sensitive, deeply in tune. And because they almost do it in the darkness, and you helping bring that to light, but not to light in the spiritual ways that we hear a lot, where it's like all love and light. And like, there's like, it's very clear there's two different colors, both showcasing the same thing. And you're bringing this whole other tribe of like, hey, no, your way of doing this, your way of being spiritual, your way of evolving, your way of showcasing expansion is just as right as the traditional ways that we're used to, and helping to support that. Does that make sense?
So I authored a book a few years ago, and one of my phrases that I always used with my staff that shows up in my book is it's okay to be in the messy middle. Like I honor that
Mhm.
space, and I love when people show up to me messy. Like I think that is the most beautiful part of someone, the vulnerabilities that we feel afraid to showcase and the tears that we're afraid to publicize. Like I love that raw human emotion, and I just want to embrace it.
Jess, and you are living your purpose. What are you here for?
I
What do
think
you
there is
want?
maybe I think there's maybe some self-worth because of
Mhm.
the ways that I have left my past couple of jobs specifically. One was just as a result of extreme burnout. I just lost joy, and I loved what I was doing. I loved my staff, I loved my students, I loved the people that I worked with, I loved what we were building. And I just had a moment where it was a no for me. Like it was a sacral no. And I pushed through it and I wore myself out. I burnt myself out. I was physically unwell. Um, and walking away from something you're so passionate about while you know that it's the right thing to do is so difficult. And then I found another job that I loved, and then I was laid off, and that was heartbreaking to me. I had never experienced that, and the way that it happened was so cold. And so, like, just like, I don't know, I felt like a number, not a human. And so I think those two back-to-back experiences just really made me start to question, gosh, like everything I know feels broken. Like I remember telling my brother one night, like becoming who I came here to be has shattered everything that I was. And it was like a beautiful heartbreaking because you know that like something beautiful is in the becoming, but it's so hard to like see and feel your way out of that. And I feel like that's where I'm at. Like I'm like just kind of coming back out of that cocoon, and I hear myself saying, like, well, who are you to start this school? Who are you to do this? And I know, like, I also feel like, well, why not me? Like, why not me? Who else?
Yeah.
But I don't know that I like believe it 100% just yet.
Your body needs to hear that is in the past. That is done. Like, we don't even want, there's no need to like even peek back in the door. Your body is like those are situations you're not going to put yourself in a place of that level of burnout again. And you are going to be served rapid, beautiful change that you already have. So your body really needs to hear it. Just even just from us, like that's enough. We can be done with that chapter and that story. Like you're not going to get back into that situation. Also, I'm hearing the word facilitator versus leader is a very big distinction for you to claim. Whatever those words mean to you, there's a difference between being in the room and sparking inspiration for others to let them sort of lead and you kind of be there as a touch point versus you being like up here and being like, this is my staff, for example, even that language. I'm not saying that you feel that way, but I'm saying that's part of what you have to really look specific to reclaim is like you're almost like an equal facilitator on that in that tape in that room. And so the way that you want to claim that of like this is actually about you all. I want to see you. I don't, I'm going to bring you to your own answers and empower you. Really claiming that language that you're already starting to like really hold is very different than you saying like I'm a leader and I'm at this point and there's like a ladder, to climb.
Right.
And then that way people will feel a part of it all together. It's an equalizer almost. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're 20 minutes in, and I think that that was the first time I heard a spark of where you want to be going. You talked about you said, who am I to lead or start a school? Is that something that's on your mind that you are trying to do? So I want to talk about that, but I also want to talk about the energy behind the fact that it took you 22 minutes to tell us that, right? We're in a safe space. We're here to bring you whatever answers and clarity that you want. And that was the first time that really came up in our conversation. And that's what we should be digging into, like the information on that. So you are worthy to start that. You already know your purpose, what you're meant to do, how you're meant to support people. And it feels like you're here because you just need a little bit of confidence and you need to know that the universe is behind you, supporting you.
Yeah.
So tell us quickly, what is it that you want us to start?
Yeah, so I have the opportunity to start what is called a micro school. So it is a school system that typically is between about 25 and 150 students. So it's very small scale. And it really is just revolutionizing our approach to education. It is not about test scores. It can be standards driven, but it does not have to be. It is very much about returning agency to the students and the families and co-creating the educational experience together rather than mandating this compliance-based performative approach to education. So very holistically focused, very mind, body, soul oriented. It is including, like we will have meditation. We will open ourselves up to the energetics of our school day and what are we walking in with and what are we carrying home with us and what is ours to carry through the day. And very much just establishing that holistic sense of community while also providing the academics.
There's so much clarity. I mean, come on, listen to that. The world, it needs to be birthed, right? And I think that equalizer is such an important thing of your perspective of the oneness of you, that is the divine working through you. And so that pressure of you to like have to be the one to make it work, we're going to take the pressure off. You are one with this mission because this mission is going to be born whether Jess Steele is there at the helm or not, because this is something that you feel the truth and like there needs to be more of this. And so you looking at the oneness of your part in it, that it is actually divine coming through you and to these children who are going to be crafting lots, it sounds like, then that's your ability to like step away and become all of it, like that shift. And that takes the pressure. I can feel your whole body relaxing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Oh my
It's
gosh.
so different. The energy behind this is like a hell yes. Okay. If you came here for confirmation, the energy behind this is a hell yes. And it heals the heart. It heals the loneliness. And I think a really important message that's coming through for you to hear is like, you don't have to be fully fixed. That's a word that's coming from you. You don't have to be fully fixed in order to start this. You don't have to be fully through your transformation. You don't have to be the version that you think is your biggest version. You're going to get there. You're going to get there no matter what. You don't have to be that. Like you can still be in some messy parts and this will help move you forward, help expand you, help with your transformation. And like, what a beautiful opportunity for you to be messy, to be in some of your messy parts with this new endeavor.
Messy school, K through 12. Where you come to craft and be.
Right? And that energy of you speaking about that, like, just like, again, if you came here for confirmation, like,
Yeah.
fucking go,
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Green light
You
everywhere.
can't be, yeah, nothing's in your way, babe.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah, it's so through you. So, yeah.
Is there anything else you want to ask, Jess?
Um, so I guess I would just ask, like, why do you think those feelings do exist? Like, I know, like, I was even telling myself, I was audio journaling while I was doing my dishes this morning, and I'm like, you have nothing but a proven track record that you will be successful at whatever you do. Like, that is just how I show up for myself and other people. Like, I don't have the evidence of the reverse that you would think would be like maybe my stuck mental loop. So I would love to explore like why do I have this lack of self-worth? Like why do I show up and feel like I need to play small and shrink versus like just embracing all of me? Like, like I preach it so easily to other people and I accept other people so easily in their messiness and in their tears and in their anger and in, and I can't do that with myself. So,
Yeah, that's a big question. And here's what feels really true. And Brooke, you can confirm this actually isn't yours at all. Why I had your ancestry coming in on your mother's side and that obsidian, you've absorbed something in an energy and entity that actually isn't you at all. And you've healed these patterns. And this has been a long history in your family of women who have been beaten up, either literally or mentally by themselves or others, and you're carrying a weight that like genuinely, Jess, it doesn't come from your life at
yeah.
all.
Yeah, because
And
it
you've
is
pointed
not
out,
anything that has happened to me here. Like
no,
I had a
it's
beautiful
not.
childhood.
Yeah, literally, like it is literally physically not yours, and you have obsidianed it into your being and body and belief system. So just know that and it makes it go away. Honestly, it can be that simple. Brooke, are you getting that?
Totally,
Hmm.
totally. And when you were using the word small and whatever else, I was like, no, 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 no. You are not small.
Mm-mm.
Small and shrinking. Like I can't even see your energy shrinking at all. I think something that's important for you to remind yourself too in this is like there's this little bit of thought, it feels like in your subconscious that like, yes, I've been successful and I've been successful every time, but I've had to do it in this particular way that doesn't feel aligned anymore.
Yes.
And so I think that you can remind yourself you've been successful in spite of doing it in ways that aren't aligned, right? Like, so when you're aligned, holy shit, how successful are you going to be? How much easier is it going to be? How much better is it going to feel? And I think just like bringing that energy to attention and reminding yourself of that, like you weren't successful because you operated out of alignment and you acted and fit into boxes that you didn't want to be in. You were successful in spite of that. So now that you're aligned, it's going to be huge.
Mm-mm.
And I think that's a beautiful note to end on. How are you feeling, Jess?
I actually feel like a weight on my chest that I did not know I was carrying has been released.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
think maybe one of the biggest revelations, because I think you're right, like I do know, like I know, but I think that self-worth was like, and I couldn't figure it out. Like I couldn't figure out why that feeling kept coming up. So to know that maybe I am just carrying an energy that is not mine to carry gives me so much freedom to, like you said, just move past it. Like now I can just release it because I know that it's not actually mine. And I think that was my stuck. Like, and I didn't know why I couldn't believe, like, why can't I believe the evidence? Why can't I believe what people say? Why can't I believe what I know is true? Like, I was stuck in my head about it, I think.
Yeah, I almost feel like next time it comes up, if it does come up again, you can just kind of like blow it away.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like nope, out of
Hi.
here.
And yeah.
Yeah. Well, really beautiful. It's been beautiful to be in your energy. Gosh, I'm so glad we're in a different energy because I was ready to like step out of the screen and bawl earlier. I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much weight here. The loneliness, the heartbreak, and like that is just, that's not your reality anymore. Um, all right, Christina, anything else you want to share to close this out?
Just thanking you. Yeah, grateful for your vulnerability and just reflecting to you how much has shifted in just these 30 minutes that you
Yeah.
feel and how simple that can be,
Yeah.
and really hearing that. So thank you.
Yes. Thank you guys. This has been really beautiful. And like you said, so simplistic and so like revolutionary in such a short amount of time. But I don't think I could have gotten there without some like loving guidance and support. So thank you.
Oh, we love you so
Yes.
much.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. Now on a fun note, before I start crying again. Um, on a fun note, can you tell us what your psychic or intuitive party trick is?
So I think my intuitive party trick is that I can sense things almost before they happen, not necessarily for myself, but for those around me. So there will be
Mm.
so many times where I will wake up and I'll just be sitting on my porch and I'll be like, oh my gosh, like so and so is about to have a day. And so I'll just send off a loving little voice note, or I will just feel a hit and it'll be like, Spirit is telling me to tell this person this message. And they will literally say, how did you know that I was going through that? Like, I haven't told anyone that. And I'll just say, I don't know. Like, I just, sometimes I don't operate very logically, which is also hard in my line of work. Like sometimes I just know that something is not going to work out and I know that something else is. So that I think
Yes.
is my
We
intuitive party
love
trick.
that. You are
Yes.
right at home in this community.
Yes.
It's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, what a beautiful gift it has been to spend time with you. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
thank you guys. It's been wonderful. Thank you.